You notice I got this shirt on. It says Granger. Granger. 5 times it says Granger on it. And, my daughter sent me that shirt yesterday. And I looked at that shirt and I thought, I'm 82 years old. She thinks I'm going to forget my name. She's not fooling anybody. She thinks they're going to ask me my name. I'm going to go, what, huh? I haven't got that bad yet. Well, the other day, you know how you go someplace and they ask you to identify yourself by giving your age and the month, the day, and all that. And they asked me. They said, "Well, when was you born?" I said, "I don't remember. It's been a long time ago." Maybe that gave us a clue, huh? Anyway, how's your day going? Jesus has been in my day ever since about 2:30 this morning, actually a little bit before that. And we've had a pretty good time. It's always a good time. He told me here, it's been quite a while ago now, but he said, why don't you let me entertain you? Because, I'm watching television and being entertained by the radio, music and stuff. He said, why don't you let me entertain you? I said, okay, well, have at it. And sometimes he's done a pretty good job. Other times I tell him, hey, you're not doing so hot. Sometimes I can sit here by the hours and it don't seem like anything's getting done, and yet all of a sudden things just start pouring in. Let patience have its perfect work. And sometimes not him at all, it's us. Isn't that truth? Anyway, I got this, I know who I am. There it is right there. Do you see what I see? This is what he gave me. Do you see what I see? A life ever after? A life that all men everywhere are looking for, and most have not found it. And yet, it's standing right in front of them. A life for eternity with a God that loves them and has sent his own Son to pay a price for them with an amount that only he could pay for a lost world. That is, with his body and blood that only the Son of God was required to do, for nothing else was worth that much. And now for all man everywhere can walk in it just for the asking forgiveness, just for the asking of forgiveness, and to turn him and to turn to him with all their heart and soul, and to walk with him from this day on. And now call him a Christ man. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. I got another one here for you. That every day gives me word to say. We have conversation. Sometimes we have conversation all day long. Sometimes when I'm praying, I pray a lot, and I see images and things. And the other night, I woke up and I hardly ever have dreams, and when I do have them, I don't remember them that much. But the other night, I had a dream of a little boy about 4 years old with a little round face, and he had this voice that sounded like he was 20 instead of 4, and he kept on saying to me, "Granger." I looked at him. What do you want? And I don't remember the rest of the dream, but every time he'd come up to me, about 4 or 5 times during this dream, he'd come up to me and he'd say, "Granger, I really believe that's going to happen. I really believe that in the near future, I mean, because his face was just, I mean, I wouldn't miss that face anyplace. And some of them things over the years that God has given me that I've held on to. You know, it says that Mary held on to those things that the Holy Spirit gave her about Jesus. And I think sometimes the Lord will give us things and for us to hold on to, and there'll be a given time when that'll take place, and then the whole thing will be triggered why it took place. But it says, take every thought into captivity. You know, every image that you get while you're praying. When you're praying, you see an image, grab hold of it. Don't let it go. That's part of the spiritual life. That's part of those things. Jesus said, I seen you when you was, he went and prayed all night. He said, I seen you when you was under the tree. He said to others, you know, and so he was getting them images while he was praying. And you're to do the same. Jesus was our example. And so to walk in the spirit life, which is what my desire is to learn more and more on how to walk in that spirit life. And remember I told you here a while back that he told me that there was a new stream coming, a living stream that would constantly flow and never cease. And it'd be words, thoughts, and images or imagination. You told me imagination. Well, that's images. And so as you're praying and you see those things, grab hold of them. He told me now. This is what he told me. He told me grab hold of it and slow it down, so you understand it. Before it was just going by me, and I thought, what in the world is going on? But it's pretty important, isn't it? I think it's pretty important. We've got things that in the spirit realm that we never really grab hold of. That we just let them pass, and we don't think anything about it. You know, like we got the five senses: the hearing, the seeing, the smelling, the tasting, and the touch. Five senses. And it says it'll tell you both good and evil. So when you shake a man's hand, you should know where he's at spiritually. And that isn't to come down on a person, but it's so you know where you're at. You know what you're walking into. When you walk into a place and you smell, and you can smell its sweetness, or you can smell something sour. That's to warn you that watch what's going on here. When you see something with your eyes, in the spirit, all of a sudden you see a flash of maybe a demon, maybe you see the eyes of the man going this way or this way instead of what it ought to be, but it'll just be a flash. That's to give you a sign. We need to walk in it. It says those of full maturity will walk in their five senses. So these are things we need to practice. We need to walk in continually. You know, when you lay hands, I got my left hand. When I lay my hands on somebody, I could either lay my hands on them to prophesy to them, or sometimes when I lay my hands on them, a pain shoots through my arm. And I mean, I don't know why I have to. I should go into him. But if a pain shoots through my arm, I know it's a demon. I know he's got a demon. And it's for me to call it out. Now, that don't mean that every time that a guy's got a demon, every time I'm going to know it. But that means when it does happen, then I have the power to, and he's ready to be delivered. You see, there's a lot of different angles to this thing, and you got to learn how to walk in them. Okay, all right. I don't know how I got off on that, but anyway, that's what I did. I got one more thing here for you that God gave me. In fact, at 3:30 a.m. Kind of early, isn't it? Well, actually, I got up at 2:50. Okay, it says, when you are all within you, how do I read stuff that isn't there. Within you are all that will ever be. That life that comes from above. That life that the Father has called forth for you. That you yourself reach out and take hold of a life of promise, health, riches, love, and comfort, and a comforter to teach you all things. Are you not worth all of it? Yes. For not only the Father is calling for it and asking you to take it, and also his Son that paid for it with his own life. On a tree outside the gates of that holy place. They wouldn't even kill him inside, they killed him outside the gates. He was a foreigner, you know. Oh my God. Which was designed for sacrifice. The holy place was designed for sacrifices and cleansing. But they shipped him outside the gates and would not let him die within. Do not come to be religious, but to be alive in me, to do my will and to know me, and to follow my Spirit and Son wheresoever they go, and live forevermore with all that I have for you. And my promise is even to your whole house. Only apply my Son's blood and word to come out of your own mouth. A overcomer. That's what you become. You become an overcomer. That's an amazing thing. The Father says you can be an overcomer. It's up to you. Okay, I got another one here for you. Ready? To stand is to be one with him. To stand is to be at his side at all times. To stand is to declare what his word says and what comes up out of you by the living Spirit of God. To stand upright at his presence, no matter who is there or what they stand for. Moses stood up with his staff, and as long as he did, they won the battle. Jesus stood up in the temple and showed what righteousness was all about, and stood for his Father. And now the Father will stand for you in all that you do, and show his approval by signs and wonders, and all the gifts of the Spirit. They will see you, but know the Son and his Father. Who else can do all this? That can only be God himself. That's pretty good, isn't it? Who else can do that? They'll see you, but they'll say, who else? Who else? That has to be God. That has to be God doing it by signs and wonders. Okay, I enjoyed this time. I hope you did. Remember the name Granger? I think I know it. And we'll see you again. But remember one thing. The presence of Jesus Christ is in you, on you, And you can feel it. You can feel His presence. Just like you feel the Holy Spirit's presence. I believe today that you can feel His presence. He has me call on His presence, continue all the time as a prophet, call my presence into this world. And I've been doing that, and I believe that you can feel it. Reach out and take hold of everything you can get a hold of. All right? Bye.